In this week's chapter of One Piece, Luffy and Peckhams are getting ready to go on a journey to save Sanji from getting married and the evilness of Big Mom.
Wow. So, we find out a little bit interesting stuff about Sanji's family at the beginning of this chapter. We find out that they're obviously assassins, and they're a part of this group called, what, the 66 or something
The Germa 66, or the 66 in general. There's a couple different translations out there.
They were about to tell us, like, his dad's name and all this stuff, and then, no, never mind. They keep going, and then they also find out if you don't accept one of Big Mom's invitations, that they'll just send you someone's head in a box, which is better than the alternative. I'm sure Theon Greyjoy knows what I'm talking about.
Is my dick in a box? So one of the biggest takeaways from this week's chapter of One Piece is that Luffy has decided that he is going to go after Sanji alone. Although he's probably going to have some people going with him. I imagine, of course, it's going to be Peckhams the Lion, who I just have to say has really, really funny looking eyes. That's like a really common joke whenever you see a character who has sunglasses or glasses on all the time. When they take off their glasses, it's usually just like dot eyes. Basically, Peckhams has the same exact eyes as Milhouse Van Houten from The Simpsons. It's ridiculous and hilarious. So Peckhams is probably going to go with Luffy, and I imagine they're probably going to bring another member of the Mink tribe with them, and by deduction, I think it's probably going to be the bunny girl Carrot, because she's the one who's all enthused and happy about this big adventure that they're getting ready to go on. She thinks it's really exciting, and she's also one of the more prominent members of the Mink tribe, one who was introduced early and one with a name. Plus, she has a unique moveset, so maybe we'll get to see that. Maybe he'll form his own, like, Mink tribe team that Luffy will go and do their thing, and the Straw Hats will stay on the island of Zou to deal with the other incoming threats.
Yeah, they do make it clear that if they stay on this island, the threats will come to them. Mm-hmm. But I think that the Straw Hats may decide to stay to kind of battle some of those threats for the Mink tribe, because the Mink tribe is still very much recovering. They're not going to take the Mink tribe with them. I think that would be weird, because that is their home. And also, it's very clear that Luffy is going solo, at least solo from the Straw Hat Pirates. One of the other things I thought was funny is that Carrot may be going with Luffy, which the Japanese translation is Kakarot, so you could also say that Luffy is now going on an adventure with Goku.
Finally!
Nekomamushi shows up and is just like pretty much ready to party and ready to see the Straw Hats, and obviously Chopper's freaking out. He's like, you're going to open your wounds again, and, you know, it's kind of funny because that character is just very exciting. I thought he was very scary and freaky when we first saw him, but now he's actually a big goofball, and pretty much his last scene ends up with him and Luffy and everyone just partying, because I guess they're just so happy that, you know, they're through all that Jack the Ripper stuff, and it's just an interesting scene and something we definitely have to mention.
The problem is Nekomamushi doesn't realize that the party in One Piece does not come until the arc is over. Also, Nekomamushi is such a bipolar character. I like that you mentioned that he's incredibly scary looking, but at the same time, he's basically just a big pussycat. Like, the scene where he runs up to Luffy and slams right into his face looks really painful, but you can see that even Luffy is kind of enjoying that as well. And it is kind of random that they just decided to have this big party out of nowhere. And then that leads us to the final scene of this week's chapter, where you have the responsible adult members of the Straw Hat crew. You have Franky, who, by the way, was he always rocking that whale pompadour, or did he only do that when he got to the island of Zou? Which, if he did do it when he got to the island of Zou, that makes sense, because they have that big whale tree.
Yes, they do have the big whale tree.
And it looks ridiculous. I love how they always, like, give him a brand new haircut. You have Nico Robin, you also have Brook, and they decide that basically they're going to stand outside the city, and if they run into Kinemon and Kanjuro, they are going to do everything in their power to prevent them from getting in. The problem is, night passes, they end up falling asleep, which I think is really out of character. Like, they should have had shifts going on. I mean, Franky and Brook are pretty silly, ridiculous characters. You know, skeleton with an afro, robot wearing a Speedo, but Nico Robin is more competent than this, and she still decided to take a nap. And this gave Kinemon and Kanjuro their opportunity to finally arrive. It looks like they got some help from that monkey, who didn't really seem like he wanted to help at all. It was just really to save his life. And then you had his crappy drawn tiger, and then suddenly the monkey runs away to the Mink tribe to warn them about the coming samurai, and who knows what's going to happen from here. The fact that the monkey's getting ready to tell his friends is probably not a good thing, and it's probably going to cause a lot of tension between the Mink tribe and the Straw Hat Pirates. But again, we're just going to have to wait and see how that pans out, because that's the end of this week's chapter, to be continued screen, which does not exist in the manga version.
No, well, I thought it was interesting that the two samurai are going to show up because obviously this is the reason that the Mink tribe has faced so much problems in the past few weeks is because Jack the Ripper was looking for a samurai. So, but if anyone could get through this awkward social situation and bring everyone together, I think that the power of friendship with the Straw Hat crew can prevail. So it'll make for an interesting chapter next week and make being on the Mink Tribe Island bearable for a few more chapters, and then let's get on to the Sanji stuff.
Exactly. I want to learn more about the Sanji stuff. Every single time they start to bring it up, it almost seems like they immediately just drop it and move on to something else. I was like, no, let's talk a little bit more about this Vinsmoke family and this organization that they belong to and why they have so much pull. Let's talk a little bit more about Big Mom. No, this is a chapter that basically is just more build-up for things that are going to be happening later on. I'm more interested to know if Luffy and Peckhams and whatever group he has that's going to go with him to find Sanji are going to leave before the monkey can get back to the Mink tribe. Because like you said, I think Luffy is really the only one who has like the best chance of probably convincing the other like Mink tribe members that no, Kinemon and Kanjuro are okay. They're goofy as all shit, but they're okay. And I also want to learn why these samurai are so sought after. It almost seems like this is all a build-up to this whole, like, Wano Kingdom arc. Like, they're eventually going to get to that island, and it's going to mean something really important. Whatever that is, I can't wait to see, and hopefully it involves Zoro. And Zoro's reaction in this chapter is still fantastic. He does not give a shit about Sanji being gone, which is so perfect because they never get along, period. And he seems to be questioning Luffy at just about every single turn, but he also knows that Luffy is just not going to give up and he's going to do everything in his power to save his cook.
Yeah, I think that Zoro's words fall on deaf ears when they go to Luffy about just forgetting about Sanji. So it's interesting. I give this chapter a 4 out of 5. What about you?
I give this chapter a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5?
I thought it was a fun read. It wasn't a perfect chapter, and it wasn't what I wanted, but I got enough laughs out of the chapter, and I thought the artwork was really good, and just the end of the chapter just got to me wondering what's going on with Kinemon and Kanjuro, who sort of fell off the story for a little bit, but the fact that they finally returned, I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do, and why they're so sought after, because they're just so damn goofy.
Yeah, they're definitely goofy characters. Well, you guys, thank you so much for watching our review of this manga One Piece chapter. If you like the review, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, subscribe. If you want to help us out, we have a PayPal link down below you can donate to, and also we have an Amazon link that if you click it, it just opens Amazon as normal. But if you buy something, we get like a small percentage, and it doesn't cost you any more. So it's an easy way to help us out. Best way to do that is just bookmark that like as your Amazon link so you never have to even think about it again. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, Super Comic Guru 9000 is out, baby.